Hi friends, welcome back. I'm ThandiwekaYah and I'm going to be sharing a prophetic word with you today as I normally do. And this is based on a dream that I had on the 16th of June 2020. But before I start the word, please remember to take the word before the Lord if you believe it's meant for you. Ask Him for confirmation. For some of you, this may already be confirmation, which is even better. I still encourage you to take it before the Lord and have Him answer your questions and fill in the gaps. Chances of me having the answers to those questions are very slim unless the Lord gives them to me. But the point is to encourage you to go into relationship with Him and to hear for yourself what He's saying about your personal life. Okay, and that not every prophetic word is meant for everyone, so that's very important to note. So I'm going to start off. Yes, I decided to stand. I'm going to start by reading from the Bible. I'll read Luke 8 verse 7 and 14. This is the parable of the sower, and I'm just reading just one particular aspect of the seeds that were sown. So this one says, so it's Luke 8, 7 and 14. Other seed fell among thorns, which grew up with it and choked the plants. The seed that fell among thorns stands for those who hear, but as they go on their way, they are choked by life's worries, riches, and pleasures, and they do not mature. So these are the people that would hear the gospel, but as they continue on with life, as they go about their daily lives, they're choked up by life's worries and such. So in this dream, I think I'll just give you a brief summary of what the dream looked like or what was happening in the dream. In this dream, I was looking after someone's baby. This is someone that I know in waking life, so I'm not going to go into specifics in terms of who the people were in my dream. But I was looking after her baby, and she, along with other people in the house, were watching television. But what they were watching was not pleasant to watch. I remember just thinking, I don't want to watch this. It was too much for me. But I also had my hands full with looking after the baby, and I had actually just rocked her to sleep. The purpose of me holding this child was to get her to sleep, which she did, and she was like in a very deep sleep. And then I went to go and put her down somewhere so that, I'm not carrying a sleeping baby. And every time I tried to put her somewhere, there was like little droplets of rain inside the house. And I knew that if I put her down, this would wake her up, because, drops of rain would wake anyone up, right? Or water. If someone splashes water on you, you would easily wake up. So I just kept looking for places to put her down, but this rain it would be persistent every time I would want to put her down. And then eventually I went back to her mother and was like, listen, I can't find a place to put the baby down. And she tried to prepare a place for her. And then that's when I shifted the baby so I could hand her over or put her in this place. But then I kind of I don't know whether I lost grip of the child and almost dropped the baby, which obviously made her wake up, and she was wide awake. And this person, the mom, was telling me, please get her back to sleep, get her back to sleep. And I started to rock her, and I realized that this child is not going to sleep anytime soon. She's wide awake, she's fully alert, and that was pretty much where the dream ended. So the Lord was telling me through this dream that there are two groups of people here that He's speaking to. The first group is those of you who you're highly gifted. Both groups are highly gifted, guys. So let me first give a full picture of everyone that's represented in this dream. You are part of the remnant. You are people who are highly gifted. You have certain things that you need to be doing in this time through the outworking of your talents and your gifts. The Lord has got a strong call on your life in this time that we're in now to be operating in your calling, which is obviously linked to your purpose. And some of you have started. So the Lord is speaking to those people. Now, within this group of people, there are two now different groups. The first are those of you who the Lord says that you are so caught up what is happening in the world, in the unrest, in the situation with the pandemic. You're so caught up with all of the things that are coming up. It's not pleasant. Obviously, we know what's happening in the world. There's all of this talk about 5G and how dangerous it is. All sorts of conspiracies, all these things that are happening, that are coming up, that are coming through in the news. The Lord is saying that you're so caught up in that, and He's saying that a lot of it is, unfortunately, you're getting caught up and worried and bogged down by all these worries over things that are, some of it is actually fabricated. What we see, because I asked the Lord, why particularly a television, and He said, because TV shows us a whole fantasy world, things that are made up. And He kept telling me this. He kept saying, don't leave that part out. It's very important that you stress the fact that a lot of the information that we see on TV, that we get, is not true. There are a lot of fabricated things. So He's saying, so many of you are so caught up in that. You're taking everything that's been fed to you, and you are neglecting your duties. You're neglecting your ministry, your calling. You're neglecting to walk in your purpose, because these things that are happening, this information that is being fed to you, has got you so captivated, and you're just not focused on anything else. You know that there's a call upon your life. God has told you what you need to do. Some of you still need to get clarity on what you need to do, but you're so caught up in what the world is doing and what's going on in the world. You have become too settled into the ways of the world, as opposed to being settled in the things of the Spirit. Instead of walking in spirit and in truth, you're being led to walk in the ways of the world, which is also full of lies and deception. So the Lord is saying that He is calling upon you now to come out of that. You are chosen for a specific purpose. There is grace in this time for you to get to a place with the Lord where you surrender. You surrender your life to Him. You surrender everything to Him. This is a very key thing right now. He's been speaking to me about surrender for a while now. And He's saying that a lot of people need to understand the concept of surrender. It's not my will, yours, but not my will, Lord, but yours. And really understand the depth of what that is. And He's saying that each one needs to come to me so I can illustrate for them in their personal life what that means, and I can show them what they're holding on to inside that they haven't surrendered to me, what aspects of their life. So He's giving you he's kind of saying, please, I need you to come and focus on me. I know that your heart is for me, but you're so pulled in this other direction that you are forgetting your first love. You're forgetting how to seek me and to trust me and to get information and truth from me. You are now taking what is being fed to you as truth, as opposed to my truth. Just want to see if I said anything else in these notes about that before I move on. So the Lord also mentioned how the enemy has studied you. He has targeted you, and he is appealing to your paranoia. He's appealing to your lack of faith. He's picked up that you don't have much faith because you're always so rattled and moved by what's going on in the world. And instead of you spending time and building your faith with the Lord, He's pulled you in a direction that you continue to lack faith in the Lord and lack faith in God's ability to protect you from all these things that are happening in the world, and that you don't have to worry about them. So He has set things up in such a way that you are going down a darker path of not believing God. And the Lord is saying, before you get to a point where you completely don't believe me, I need you to come out of that. I need you to hear this word. This is an urgent call to you to turn and face me and come to me, because there's much that needs to be done through your gifting, through your talents, through your mandate. The Lord is saying to you that you are needed in this time to fulfill your purpose, that because you're so fixated on what's happening in the world, your dreams are on hold, your calling is on hold, your ministry is on hold, your purpose is on hold. you have left it in the hands of others to nurture your ministry, to nurture the things that you are supposed to do. You have left it to the responsibility of someone else to try and run with it, to keep it to just keep it in a nice, cozy, comfortable position for now. But the Lord is saying that baby needs to be awakened. Now, to the second group of people, these are those of you who are aware that, you know, that these things that are happening in the world are distractions, and you know that getting involved and getting sucked into that would pull you in that direction. So you know to pull yourself away from it and to focus on the things of the Lord. But while you are trying to fulfill your mandate, trying to fulfill your mission and your calling, you find yourself in a position where you want to take on the other things because you see that they need to be taken care of, and try and put them in a position that, okay, I've got it bedded down for now, I've laid it down for now, and when it's time, because you're thinking it's not time yet because the person responsible is not doing what they're supposed to be doing, you know, you're thinking when it's time they'll come and they'll do what they're supposed to be doing. So you're trying to also manage that and lay it down. But the Lord is saying that He's not going to allow the baby to be laid down. He's not going to allow these things to be put down. He's going to move you through the power of the Holy Spirit to not be able to lay it down. The fact that there was this light rain every time I tried to put this baby in a comfortable sleeping position, that rain would wake the baby up. And the Lord is saying that these things need to be awakened. These things need to be in full swing, in full force now. There is no more time to waste. As the world is starting to open up little by little, by the time that it is fully open, we need to be able to know exactly what we're doing, where we're going, how we're doing it, and we have to begin working on these things now. And the Lord is saying that for those of you, the second group, you need to focus on what He's given you to focus on, to nurture what He's given you to nurture. You have your own responsibilities, your own mandate and calling, and you need to stop being always so helpful and I'm going to help them and I'm going to take care of this while the person who's supposed to be responsible for this thing is getting caught up in the wrong stuff. So it's good to help when it's needed, but just because it's a good thing doesn't mean, just because it's something that is positive and good and right, doesn't mean that you should be doing it. We should always be seeking the Lord. I always think of David, who with every step that he took, he would ask the Lord, should I go, Lord, and fight that army? Should I go to this city? Should I go to that place? Should I go back to the land of my ancestors? All those things. And I always think of that because it's such a beautiful way of putting things into perspective. Just because he was a warrior didn't mean that he had to go and fight every battle. He had to ask the Lord, which ones should I go to? So the Lord is saying, just because you see that there's a need doesn't mean that you have to jump in and be the person to help. Ask Him first, do you want me there? Should I be helping there? Where do you want me? I'm surrendered to you, Lord. Send me where you're sending me. I will do what you're telling me to do. And that is the key thing in this time, for both groups to be fully surrendered, to say, okay, Lord, I see what's happening in the world. I'm going to pull myself away from fixating on that. There's nothing wrong with knowing and being aware of what's happening in the world. It is important because it also it's tied into our destiny as well, because we need to know what we're responding to. And for the one who is wanting to help and always just cover things for others, you need to also be close to the Lord and asking Him for direction, whether you should help or not. So, group one, you need to stop avoiding responsibility due to fear, due to hopelessness, due to apprehension about what's happening in the world. The Lord is awakening your calling, your purpose. He's awakening your abilities and your talents, and you need to be in tune with that and running with that. Group two, you need to continue being in tune with what the Lord has called you to, continue being willing to obey what He's calling you to, and let Him guide you into where you need to help, where help is needed. So the Lord is saying, especially to group one, Who do you choose to believe today? Are you going to choose truth, and are you going to choose life? Or are you going to choose lies, and are you going to choose death, deception and death? So the Lord wanted me to leave you with Deuteronomy 30 verse 19, which says, "This day I call the heavens and the earth as witnesses against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life, so that you and your children may live." Stop being fixated on death and destruction and the lies of the enemy, because that will lead to death and destruction and deception. Choose life. The Lord says choose life today. Choose what He's called you to. Choose Him. Turn away from those things. Yes, be aware of what's happening in the world, but fixate on Him. Surrender all to Him. So friends, that's the word. It is an urgent word. I know that I have a very soft-spoken way of delivering the message, but I pray that this resonates deep within the spirit of those that it is meant to, because it is important that you recognize the times. It is crunch time. The words that have been put out by myself and other prophetic voices here on YouTube are saying the same thing in different ways, in different aspects. It's all one big puzzle that's coming together nicely, but the message is quite unified. It is crunch time. It is time now. There's no more waiting. And this is particularly for those who the Lord has pruned and prepared for this time. It's not for everyone. There's some people that are still in the wilderness. There's some people that still don't even know where they are. This word is not for you. It's for those who have been pruned and prepared for this time. So take heed. Take heed, friends. That's all. I pray that this word has blessed you. Thank you so much for all your support, my friends. I just am absolutely always amazed and just so grateful for the way that you support me, support this ministry. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't thank you guys enough for the way that you have been so supportive. Please, if you can, do join my membership side of the channel. I do a weekly live where we get to connect and we get to speak about certain topics. And I do that every Thursday at 10 p.m. my time, which is standard South African time, or GMT +2. You'll have to check what that is for on your side of the world, for those that are not in South Africa. And so that happens weekly. And I also do every now and then share insights on dream interpretation. So that's something to look forward to if you do join the memberships. There is a join button at the bottom of the screen or somewhere next to the subscribe button. If not, the link is in the description box as well. So I thank you so much, friends, for being here, for watching. Remember that you serve a wonderful, wonderful, loving Father, and you are so special to Him.
No matter who tries, I know I'm winning. I know this is